Now, anybody who's been around the channel for a while and knows me probably already knows that I have been absolutely tickled over the last year and a half that we have finally been able to amass some Quintesson forces. I love the Pit of Judgement. I love that we got a Quintesson. I love that we have a little prosecutor, still like a scientist. I adore the fact that we have now Alicons, and we even have the little Slitherfang offering. And we have the Titan's Return, and even the Cyberverse Sharkticons, which are good, but they're not quite this. This is a very G1 inspired Sharkticon, and it is a version of Gnaw from the Studio Series 86 line. And this guy's going to be our focus this time around in the latest GotBot True review. Hey one, hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe while you're at it, light 'em up, baby. And hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton. It lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all my social media links. All of that in the description down below. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon, see what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course hit the join button right here on YouTube to become a channel member. And this is Gnaw. This is the Studio Series 86 Gnaw. I just call them Sharkticons because they all look the same, really. This is one of those cases where it's labeled as a deluxe. Is it really? Well, we're going to find out. It looks good. It definitely looks the part, and I'm so happy that I get to look at this guy and I don't see a Decepticon symbol on him. With the Titan's Return one, I had to customize it to remove it. I had to get rid of it on, I believe, the Cyberverse one, which is a little bit bigger. I always thought that the Sharkticons should probably be deluxe and be a little bit larger than what they were in Titan's Return, even though I like the Titan's Return, as weird as they are with their weird arms. I think it's a great Sharkticon, and a lot of people did, and a lot of people got many of them. I myself got 3. But then when I saw this, I was like, there's my G1 lad that I want. There's my G1 lad that I think that I want. Is he as good as I'd hoped? Well, we're about to find out when we head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And yes, indeed, we fill out the ranks of the Quintesson forces just a little bit more with this trio of Gnaws, or Sharkticons, if you will. Now, I know that there are people out there who will buy 10, 15, 20 of these. They did it with Titan's Return, which I don't think people should have, but they did. To each their own. Oddly, not a lot of people did it with Cyberverse. They were fairly easy to get around here. And now we have these guys. For me, all I've ever done is get a trio. I got a trio of Titan's Return, I got a trio of Cyberverse, and now a trio of these. And interestingly, like, that gives me 9 Sharkticons. That's good. That's a good Sharkticon force. They're different molds, and they can kind of serve as units unto themselves. I think that this might be the most successful Sharkticon mold we have ever gotten in the main line. Arguably. We'll see. But I do have a trio of them. Of course, we don't need to look at 3. We only need to look at 1. And even with that one, we only need to look at the packaging first. And we have a Sharkticon down here now with his eyes all lit up green. Over on this side, same thing. Over here we see him again. And then on the back, of course, we have the product images. Inside, we have part of the Quintesson Pit of Judgement, where a mockery of justice takes place. Poor Kranix. We got that, of course, in the Pit of Judgement. This kind of goes along with the Pit of Judgement, so to speak, and you can put Gnaw, or I guess anybody there for that matter. We've got ourselves some pretty snazzy instructions. Man, these have come a long way from being useful. Earlier the week, I looked at the masterpiece Rodimus Prime that came out several years ago. It was the Toys R Us exclusive one, and the instructions for that are trash. These instructions are actually pretty good. We got a nice Sharkticon blaster. About time these guys came with a blaster. And the good old tail flail. This one is actually able to bend up like this. I think that's the only hinge we have, but still, I'll take it. And then the entire top of the shark, along with the fin. I have the fin inserted in a hole and turned the way it's supposed to be for robot mode. I will also take note that we have this crossbar here. That's how this attaches to Gnaw. And we have a peg down here. In robot mode, that peg goes into a peg hole. And when we look at Gnaw, we can see the peg hole on his back, and we can see like a runner piece along right there. It's behind his head. You kind of lift the head up, and then you will slide this in through that runner. And once the back is on, that's the way it looks from behind, from the side, and around now to the front. If we want, we can take his blaster and put it in his hand, and the tail flail, it can go in the other hand. Here's the thing though, if you don't want him holding the tail flail or the blaster, he doesn't really have any pegs or anything on him for you to put it. So, I don't know, a little bit of a bummer there. Missed opportunity, I think. I would have liked to have somewhere to put those when they're not in his hands. In terms of look for the guy, 10. Honestly, it's about as perfect as you could want, down to the like red and green detail of the lower jaw of the shark, down to the little green detail on his tummy, the blue around his wrists. I mean, I guess if you really wanted to nitpick, you could say that these 3 fish feet parts should be able to hinge forward a little bit, because they kind of encapsulate his hand a little bit more. But that's about it, really. The rest of this is pretty ideal for Gnaw. Really, or Sharkticon I should say. Really kind of ideal. So 10 there. In terms of the articulation for the guy, we have a head that can go left, it can go right, it can look up a little bit and down a lot. The arms, they can go all the way around out to the side, bicep swivel, elbow to over 90 degrees. No wrist rotation. I feel like that could have been in there, but we can do that with the wrist because it folds in. Too bad we have a hollow piece in here. Too bad there wasn't a flap or something for that. We do have a waist. Ooh, no waist on the guy. Oh, that's a bit of a bummer, man. Bit of a bummer. Leg all the way forward. And like his knee can kind of do that a bit if you wanted to. Why you would want it to, I don't know. But the knee goes to 90 degrees. We have the ankle that can go back. The ankle, deep ankle tilt. It breaks the sculpt, but it's there. We have a heel spur. The heel can move forward and back. The toes, I guess, kind of move forward because of that weird ankle. Thigh swivel, if I didn't say it already. So, no waist and no wrist. Oh, taking the guy in a little too close. Sorry if he went out of focus there. No waist, no wrist. Bit of a shame. Not gonna lie, that's a little bit of a shame. I said a 10 for his look. This day and age, we've become accustomed to a wrist and a waist. Not having it is a bit of a bummer. I'm going to say he still poses very well. Better than the Cyberverse. I'd even say better than the Titan's Return. I don't know, it's about an 8. It's about an 8. I'd like to have a wrist, and I'd like to have a waist. Wrist and waist, the 2 W's. So we have an 8, we have a 10, so far he's getting a 9. What about the transformation? Well, the transformation is kind of easy, kind of brilliant. So we close in that wrist, and we close in that wrist. We can close that up over if we want, and take all of this up and over if we want. Then we fold this whole piece up, and all of this now rotates, if I can do it. Why are you not rotating for me? Maybe I shouldn't have had that up first. Maybe I should rotate this first. My mistake. My mistake. We rotate this first. Then I can bring this whole piece up. My mistake. There are the legs there. But they're going to come down this way. Then we have to deal with the feet. And we put in the heels, and we put in the heels. Then you fold at the ankle, and you fold the whole leg up and over. You fold at the ankle and then fold at the knee to bring the entire leg up and over. All of this should peg on in here. You can see the foot isn't exactly flush at the moment. Now it is. right? On this side, same thing. Foot's not exactly flush at the moment. Push it in, now it is. And then we bring this whole piece up and over, and it tabs down. We bring the arms forward, and we bring this arm forward. Make sure all of that is up and all of this is tight. We turn this around. We have these legs thusly like this, and then we put in the tail flail thing, and then on this side you'll notice we have a little hole, and that little hole takes a peg right there, so it goes in just on the side, and boom, in the end here we have Gnaw in his Sharkticon mode. Sure does look like a Sharkticon to me. In this case, the legs can go forward and back. We have a knee because of the elbow. They can go out to the side, which I dig. The arms can go all the way around, and they bend at the elbow. They can't move out. Little bit of a bummer there, but not a deal breaker by any stretch of the imagination. The mouth opens and closes, which is cool. All of this on the side should be gray by rights when it's in shark mode. But you know what? Like, I think that this is about as good as you're going to get there. You could have probably had some panels come out from the backpack or something. That might have made it like more complicated than this really needs to be. It's a fun transformation. It's easy to get here, it's easy to get back, and it's clever. Like the way the body turns around. Yes, we lose a waist, but the way the body rotates around is very clever. It would have been nice if they could work a waist in there. The way it flips back around is nice. The simplicity of the way the legs fold up is nice. The arms becoming the legs makes perfect sense. This makes sense to me. I'm going to say that the transformation is a solid 9. He was already getting a 9. I'm going to say that the Studio Series 86 Gnaw is a solid 9. It is a tremendous, tremendous version of a Sharkticon. Of course, the main thing of interest here with this guy is this. Yeah, man, this is something that makes me very happy. I can see what looks like a full Quintesson pit, pretty much. I do have some other pit sections, to be honest with you, that could probably go incorporated in here that I have saved from other Studio Series offerings, notably the Dinobots. I like this. You know, we have now 3 big Quintessons because of the, I think it's LRC, third-party Quintessons. I have 3 smaller ones. We have a bailiff, a prosecutor, though, yeah, the prosecutor's in there kind of next to the bailiff. We have Kranix, we have a trio of the Titans Return Sharkticons, and a 4th one that came with the pit set. We have 3 Cyberverse Sharkticons. We have 2 of the Decius drone guards, 3 Alicons, and now 3 of the Studio Series Sharkticons. By the way, if you're wondering if the Studio Series Sharkticons are actually deluxe class, very much so. Actually, they're big deluxes. With the tail flail and the blaster, the Studio Series 86 Sharkticons, with all their paint, all their bits and pieces, comes in at a whopping 92 grams of plastic. Traditional deluxe is about 84. We have seen them as low, Black Arachnia, as 38 recently, and Cheetor, 61. So getting 92 for the Sharkticons, who are kind of shorter, is amazing. They're shorter, but they're so solid and stout. Overall, the Sharkticon is a solid 9, solid win, solid addition to the Quintesson forces. And here we are once again, and here he is, and there's a lot here to like. A lot of like paint and molded in detail, some great fit and finish. In robot mode, this looks pretty quintessentially like a Sharkticon. I'm really happy with this. About the only thing that I could see as a possible improvement on this guy would be if these blue pieces could sort of fold down a little bit over his hands, because they did on the cartoon. Besides that, this is about as perfect of a looking robot mode for Sharkticon as you could want. Why we turned the fin around, I don't know. I find that weird. In shark mode, I love that the arms have a little bit of articulation. Not a lot. It'd be nice if they were able to move out a bit. They can't really do that. But I do like that the upper arm is gray, the lower arm is blue, instead of the entire arm being blue. Because, again, that's the way it was on the program. I like that we have the dark gray on top and the lighter gray. I love the green eyes. And the transformation is actually kind of involved and kind of interesting for what it is. Because there's more movement here than what you would expect from a simple Sharkticon transformation. Yes, the legs flip up, but there's more to it to be able to cover it up and make it look more like a cohesive shark. The only thing that's really off in the actual shark mode is the sides of the shark, where you sort of see the leg and the foot bent up. All of that naturally should be gray. I don't think that that's something that we could have really accomplished here. One might say maybe some sort of a flap, but I feel like that would make the background more cumbersome. If you heard a cough there, that's actually Starscream wife. I think it's a little bit more cumbersome if we had the extra panels. I think the way that they did it was the right way to go. I'm actually surprisingly much more impressed with this than I thought I was going to be. Looks great, functions well, nice articulation, fun transformation, and I feel rewarded in both modes. I think it's an absolute win. I got my little trio, and hopefully you can get yours. What can I say? Let me know what you think about this guy. I appreciate you coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon, see what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course, hit the join button right here on YouTube to become a channel member, baby. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button, stick around, have some fun with us here on the channel. Don't forget that somehow, someway, each and every single day, man, you right there, you do make a difference. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres or the old-fashioned way, baby, right here inside the videos.